Welcome back to Kenya's largest inter-school business pitch competition for high school students, Craydel Cup. It's time to find out which schools are the finalists. First to present is Oshwal Academy, all the way from Mombasa with their idea to transform meals served to patients in hospitals.
My house helps, his name is Fahari. He had actually said when he stayed in the hospital, when he was admitted, the only thing he was fed the entire time was just porridge and a slice of lemon for every meal. It's just so shocking and depressing to feel like somebody's sick and in the hospital and they're just getting food that is not adequate and what they actually need to recover faster. And he actually elaborated further and he told us that he left the hospital to go buy food from local public vendors instead of eating what was at the hospital because it was not worth it. And at that time he had broken his leg. So imagine somebody with a broken leg leaving the hospital to walk and to find food which you should be provided in the hospital. So we wanted to start a company that would eradicate this issue so that people could get good, affordable, nutritious meals in the hospital that wouldn't need them to leave the hospital or wouldn't need them to source food elsewhere.
We think that we stand out because our plan is something that can actually be implemented. It's both realistic and it has value towards the Kenyan economy.
We're confident about the idea. Obviously, we're a bit nervous for the pitch in front of TV. I think that's normal, but we're feeling good. We've got through the hard part of coming up with ideas, trying to solve it, and the other criteria that the judges have given us, but yeah.
Hi, I'm Rima.
I'm Krishna.
And I'm Dhirav.
And we are Nutri Health.
From Oshwal Academy, Mombasa.
Unfortunately, there are thousands upon thousands of patients across Kenya suffering just like my house help Fahari during their hospital stays, deprived of all the nutrition that they require for their recovery processes, especially low-income patients in underserved areas. Can you imagine being in a hospital and being fed ugali and salt? Just that? And if you are offered a nutritious, well-balanced meal, it's usually out of the budget completely and unreasonably priced. And considering Kenya's economic status right now, most of us can't afford it.
Now this is where we come in. Nutri Health provides a simple, feasible solution to this major problem. A solution that can easily be implemented and can have a huge impact in a short span of time. We work with hospitals to create customized meal plans for the needs of these patients. These meal plans are both affordable and nutritious and help expedite the patient's recovery. The meal plans are made according to Kenya's nutritional guide. So how will this work? Well, we have planned to have several cloud kitchens spread across the country. What this means is that our meals for all those hospitals in a specific area will be prepared at that kitchen. This allows us to create them at bulk, which allows us to maximize economies of scale. After being prepared, they will be transported to all the affiliated hospitals. Our plan is to integrate this with the NHIF. This opens doors to a vast customer base. Moreover, our vision directly correlates towards solving UN SDG goals 2 and 3, zero hunger and good health and well-being. Currently, there are no firms that are providing such a service to hospitals, which instantly puts us at an advantage.
Our revenue comes from partnerships with healthcare institutions. Our prices are made to be fair and affordable for both hospitals and low-income patients. Our pricing considers multiple factors, such as ingredient costs, labor efficiency, transportation costs, and economies of scale as we expand. We offer 3 meal plan tiers: the bronze tier, the silver tier, and the gold tier. The bronze tier being the standard meal plans. We also offer discounts for bulk orders and incentives for long-term contracts. After speaking to a level 5 hospital in Mombasa, we found out that they have an 800-bed capacity. They only have 15 cooks and 11 nutritionists, some of which are just volunteers. Do you really think that this staff has what it takes or can provide the needs of the variety of dietary needs for all 800 patients? Special diets can complicate things, and therefore they may require extra resources and extra labor to provide the right meals. After speaking to this level 5 hospital, we found out that a 3 meal plan for a day costs about 1,500 Kenyan shillings. But after our services or our methods, using economies of scale and direct sourcing from local farmers, we can cut it to a range of 600 to 800 Kenyan shillings. Our current market size is about 286 hospitals, with a total of 65,000 capacity. This is a huge market, and we aim to tap into it.
So why should you trust us as a team that will take Nutri Health to the scale that it deserves to be? Well, we've done our research. We've been talking to hospitals and have their mentorship and guidance. We have communicated with the NHIF to further understand what their future plans are. And most importantly, we have talked to the patients who will be directly affected by our business to gain a deeper insight on what their needs are. We know that we have the skills to take this business to where it should be, and we're inviting you to join us in making things better for patients all across this country. After all, food is the best medicine. Thank you.
I'm hoping to hear really original ideas. I'm hoping to hear businesses that can actually solve problems that we have here in Kenya and that we have across the continent. And I'm expecting to see some fun and some personality. One thing in particular you said I found very interesting, which is that you would offer personalized meals to patients in these hospitals. And I think many of us believe that the future of healthcare is about personalized treatment and personalized medicine. But how do you apply this to a cloud kitchen?
First of all, the reason we emphasize on customizing it is that a person is already going through something, and now if the food is of low quality, it just makes it harder psychologically and physically for them to recover. The reason we're doing a cloud kitchen is that multiple hospitals can be serviced by that one kitchen, which means that if there's certain overlaps, like several patients who need food with low sugar, then we can create several meals like that. So the reason we have a cloud kitchen is that the whole area can be covered as such, which allows us to customize it easily, and we'll get data from our nutritionists that will be at those hospitals to find out which patients need the standardized meals, which ones need a bit more attention into what diet they're getting.
I'm excited to be here at the Craydel Cup because this is an opportunity to listen to young African students pitching ideas that they can imagine for the continent, for the country, and really they're giving us a glimpse of the future of what is possible. You talked about bronze, silver and gold and the price points. But then you gave us an example of a level 5 hospital in Mombasa, which spends about 1,500. Did you take a look at what a level, I guess a 3 or level 4 hospital spends on food? And does this price point meet your revenue expectations? Just so that, this is not just a solution for level 5 hospitals, but can cater to all the hospitals across Kenya.
So we took that in mind. That's why we created the tiers, because especially coming from the story about my house help Fahari, you can't expect a rural hospital, public hospital, who's serving porridge and lemon to afford the same costs as what a level 5 hospital is. So that's why gold is probably, with our marketing team, would probably be marketed towards these level 5 and higher hospitals, because they have it in their budget to afford this, and their patients do as well. But then they also have the option of giving their patients these bronze tiered meals, because level 5 hospitals mean that people from rural areas, if they can't get the care they need in those rural hospitals, they're transferred to that hospitals. So all these meal options will be provided to all the hospitals, and that's why we're trying to make them as low as possible, so that the price of porridge and lemon can be compared to the dinner prices that we're giving them of chicken curry and rice.
Okay, understood.
Now let's get ready to bring on stage the all-girls team from Jaralam Academy of Kisumu County that offers an extremely low-cost portable drinking water solution.
We're feeling really nervous to be here, but we're also excited. We're also really grateful to Craydel for giving us this opportunity. It's an amazing opportunity, once in a lifetime. So thank you so much to Craydel.
Alra Waterworks is a purification company that utilizes UV rays to remove the harmful pathogens from the water.
What makes us unique is that we are cost-effective, chemical-free, and eco-friendly.
We are grateful for our teachers and our career counselors for coaching us through this journey, and a very special thanks to Miss Judith.
Isn't it alarming how 842,000 people die annually in Africa just because they drank contaminated water, while knowing there is no permanent solution to this menace?
Good afternoon, judges. We're thrilled to introduce to you the WV Water Purifier, an innovative water purification system that uses UV rays to eliminate contaminants, ensuring clean and safe water for our Kenyan society.
Here at Alra Waterworks, we're on a mission to transform the way the world experiences clean, safe and sustainable water. Our trailblazing technology harnesses the power of UV rays completely free of chemicals to provide you and your future sustainable water.
Given that drinking water is an essential part of life, urban managers are faced with the task of supplying safe and reliable water to city residents. Shockingly, 3.4 million people die annually, mostly children, as a result of industrialization, population increase, haphazard settlement, sewage discharge. Modern efforts are to guarantee clean drinking water and good sanitation for the safety of the younger generation.
It hit me hard when my father would come back home having sleepless nights because of the worries of the children who died from cholera and the diseases that he had to face.
Do you sympathize with the people without water? Let me tell you a story. Once I was going to Mombasa to visit my relatives. I was passing by a pre-urban area and I had to face the agony of seeing young children having to drink contaminated water to survive.
Okay, I'm gonna take you through how this product works. So basically, this is the first chamber. It has 2 filter candles. They have ceramic, it's made of a ceramic material that has micropores in them that trap any sediment in the water, such as the soils, as you can see. And then on to the next chamber.
In the second chamber, as you can see, we have some UV lamps. Now these UV lamps, they produce a certain type of electromagnetic ray. These electromagnetic rays have the ability to penetrate the cell wall and the cell membranes of the pathogens in the water. After the cell wall has been penetrated, the DNA becomes altered permanently. After the DNA is altered, they die or they become inactivated, making your water safe to drink. From there, the water moves on to the third chamber,
where this chamber is taken outside for further purification by the sun, the UV rays from the sun.
The water then moves on to the fourth chamber, where the water is sterilized. It's sterilized for the user if the user would like to bottle the water or if we choose to bottle the water.
The global water purification market is at over 12.42 billion, and we will market our product by the use of flyers, which we have here. We'll be able to reach healthcare facilities, governmental institutions, educational institutions, and healthcare facilities.
So we are planning to price our unit for 5,000 Kenya shillings, where the user can opt for a biannual subscription plan of 1,365 Kenya shillings. That involves regular maintenance and changing of the UV lamps and filter candles for free, like it comes in the fee. Now, this is a reasonable price as the minimum wage in Kenya is 15,120 in developed areas, whereas in pre-urban areas it is 994.49 Kenya shillings per month, according to WHO, making our units very affordable for everyone.
Purifying water is not the only mission for Alra Waterworks. Delivering clean and brighter water and for chemical-free, join us tomorrow for a radiant journey with Alra Waterworks for a chemical-free, cleaner and brighter and safe water. Thank you.
It's so impressive to see that as part of the Craydel Cup Challenge, you actually designed a product and brought it here to show to us. So well done.
Yeah.
So I recall seeing different types of water purifiers in supermarkets around Nairobi. Tell us about competition and how you stack up against it.
Okay, so I'm going to give a few of the examples. So basically, our unit is priced for 5,000 Kenya shillings. If you look at the well-known and established purification companies that offer the same level of purification, they range from 15,000 to 35,000. And as you know, we're targeting people in pre-urban areas. They are unable to purchase such a product. And because of the problem we were facing, we were thinking of a product that is cost-effective, which is 5,000. It does not emit any carbons into the society, into the environment, and it is easy maintenance because people in pre-urban areas lack the knowledge of technology and they don't have Wi-Fi or the knowledge to be able to access an Arduino code for the water to purify itself. So this is very easy maintenance and easy to understand.
How much does it cost you to build this? And what are your margins, therefore? So that, we can see whether this is a profitable venture for you.
So the cost of making 1 unit is 4,180. So the profit you would make from this whole thing is 820 from one. Yeah.
From 1 unit.
From 1 unit. And how many units do you reckon you could sell?
Within the first year, we think we can sell 120 units, making a profit of 98,400.
I could not believe that the ideas that were presented earlier, because we have the pitch decks, were from high school students. What I was doing in high school was so different from what these children are doing. I'm so impressed. So I want the children to know, let me not call them children, these young adults to know that they're already winners just by virtue of their forward thinking. And my expectations are very high, very high. According to your numbers, my key question would be, so how then do you fund the rest of the operations of the business? Like, for example, the marketing. You also have a huge undertaking in terms of education, because you sort of this is behavioral change, so you'll have to talk to people to teach them how to use it. So how else will you fund the rest of the operations of the business?
So we've put aside 1,500 every month for the marketing, where she can print flyers, go to schools, talk to people, basically what you asked, she can advertise.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Eagerly awaiting to present their pitch is Roslin Academy from Nairobi with their idea to transform opportunities for the informal workers in Kenya.
At the moment, there's a bit of nerves, going on TV isn't just your everyday thing. And we think it's a really special opportunity, and we're just happy to be here.
Although we've spent a lot of time preparing, I'm proud of us for coming this far, and whatever happens, happens.
Feeling quietly confident, making sure that we're not overconfident, but making sure that we know how good we are, we know our qualities, and making sure that we bring this thing home.
One thing that we stand out for is our accessibility, our stance on accessibility. We want to branch out to just everyday people, not just a niche group of people. This can be, used for everyone. We're making connections, forming connections, and we're building diversity within the socioeconomic status of our country.
Ms. Mitika, our guidance counselor, we're taking you to Ireland when we win.
Imagine earning 9,000 Kenyan shillings per month and not being able to adequately support your family. Now, imagine that 9,000 now becomes 0 and you're now unemployed. Doesn't 9,000 sound a lot more appealing? The fact of the matter is there are over 9 million Kenyans in this very predicament as we speak, living below the poverty line of 283 shillings. This impairs a whole family, with children not getting access to basic necessities like school, shelter, food, water. Enter Home Help. Hi, I'm Danny Kafungu.
I'm Sarah Bayane.
I'm Barrio Diambo.
And I'm Malaika Adams-Samura, and we're from Roslin Academy, and our company is Home Help. Our solution is simple: to provide a seamless and efficient way for domestic workers to find domestic work. By serving as a middleman between these two individuals, we aim to tackle the issue of underemployment in Kenya. Through our site, we aim to empower and support those in need of it by connecting them with a network of reliable individuals. Through our site, Home Help, we aim to breach the trust and connections between those two groups, as well as provide a resource for those who need it. So if you were to refer to the infographics, there's a step-by-step on how you can use our site. Basically, the first thing you'll do is specify what you're looking for. Are you looking for a worker, or are you looking for work? The second thing you will do is create an account in which, if you are looking for work, you will have to do a training process and upload the necessary documents. The third thing you will do if you are looking for a worker is browse. The fourth thing is to select the person that you think is fit for you. If you are waiting for someone to employ you, then that is just a waiting game. After that, when you guys have connected and talked it out, you will secure the transaction by paying a finder's fee or a commission, which is dependent on part-time or full-time work, and that will secure the transaction and you will have access to their contact information. Yes.
Now judges, you may be wondering about monetization. Well, for our part-time workers, we will collect a 5% commission from their wage. Additionally, clients looking to employ full-time workers will pay us, Home Help, an equivalent of their workers' monthly salary for their first month. Additionally, we also plan to collect ad revenue. In terms of scalability, we hope to start this project here in Nairobi and expand to other promising regions of Kenya, such as Mombasa, and eventually East African nations as a whole. Furthermore, we hope to partner with technical colleges to provide us with certified skilled laborers in order to increase our services.
Rwandan President Paul Kagame once said, "The best way to help someone is to help them stand on their own." Home Help aims to facilitate productivity and societal participation by offering an easy-to-use, accessible platform that helps them market themselves, and it also helps them form good connections. In other words, helping them stand on their own.
Now, you may be wondering, why are we the right team for this? I mean, we're just a bunch of inexperienced teens, right? Wrong. So, aside from our various leadership positions, we all have a personal connection to this site. I personally have had the same house help, for 9 years. When my mother died, they served as a continuity in my life. Their familiarity, their support was so touching to me. We all have stories like this, and we all recognize the significance that domestic work has in not only our lives, but their lives. So Home Help doesn't just solve unemployment. It also forms connections between worker and employer.
Now guys, given the current environmental state of the world, why should we be focusing on underemployment?
Well, underemployment is a very significant global problem. It is a problem that happens wherever you go in the world, that is trying to be solved by the UN by 2030. In their Sustainable Development Goals, you can see that underemployment affects Goals 1, which is poverty, Goal 8, which is decent working and economic growth. We can see that underemployment affects all of these issues. Underemployment also lowers the country's GDP because it halts the economy when people are sitting at home and not working. This is a global issue that needs to be addressed.
In regards to unemployment, especially in Kenya, in the last 2 years we've been hit hard. Just in April, about 65,000 Kenyans were seen applying for government-provided jobs, yet only 3,200 jobs were advertised. That is about 1 job out of 20 people. 1 person is getting employed out of those 20 people. Home Help is not just giving people a job. No. It's giving people hope. It gives them dignity. It gives them a chance to uplift themselves. Esteemed judges, in this dire situation, we truly believe that Home Help is the solution. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Jambo Kenya, I'm really excited to see all of the presentations today, to see the young innovators and entrepreneurs in Kenya, and I wish them the very best in today's event. Is your focus on you'll make your money from the employee, you'll get a percentage of their earnings, or do you make your money from the end user, i.e. the person who needs the home help?
I think I can answer this question. So we are getting the money from the employer, the people that are getting these workers. We're not cutting anything from the salary of the employees working for the service. So even all the upfront payments are not cut of the projected wage. Moreover, it's more like a finder's fee. Since we found you, this employee, you'll be paying us.
So one of the things that really resonates with this pitch is our own business as Craydel, because at Craydel what we like to do is empower African learners to match to their best fit universities or colleges. And a question that we often get from venture capital investors is, who are you working for? So I want to ask you the same question. Who is your customer? Is it the employees who are seeking work? Or is it on the other side of the table, the employers who are paying you?
I would say, surface level, we would say that we are here to provide an effective service. You know, you want to get good workers who will do their job properly and everything. But on the underside of things, like deeper, we are solving the problem of unemployment. And in that, we are serving communities. Exactly. Communities who are impoverished, who, you know, for me personally, in Lavington, whenever I drive around there, you can see so many people who don't necessarily, they're just around, men and women who are just standing around. They don't have work. Even when I was going to school just the other day, I saw a man who was just standing there in the middle of the road. I'd never seen him. And he was just like pointing up a sign, oh, I'm looking to be a chauffeur, a driver. It's this thing of, we understand we're giving like a service to the customer, but on a larger scale of things, it's to solve unemployment, to give these people, as I said before, hope, to give them dignity.
You're collecting people's phone numbers, IDs, email addresses, their pictures, their personal information about where they live, where they've gone to school, and you're collecting it from both ends, the domestic worker and the employer. What's your plan to keep all this data safe? You know, nowadays the data commissioner comes in.
That's true. That's a great question.
That's a very good question to take under consideration. At this juncture, we would probably say that the best way to keep data very safe is to ensure that we entrust the best team to develop our platform and make sure that the way that they develop it, they have an algorithm whereby data is safe, whereby it's not easy to access and it's not easy to hack. And there's very many capable teams out there. You're seeing stories about the US ambassador starting up like IBM and stuff like that. So hiring very capable individuals like that to make sure that it's the best possible team that's assembled.
I think a great idea that could go in there is also following general regulations. We have to follow, let's say, what the government says, and we just have to make sure we're aligned with that, you know, to keep our users' data safe.
Also, to answer your question of accessibility, because you said some people, they don't have smartphones, they can't log in. We also thought about that, and we concluded that maybe SMS, basically people sign up through our number or through texting, and we'll sign them up on our end. So they'll go through us instead of going through the site directly if they can't do that.
And in terms of scalability, we were thinking that offices would be a great idea later on, and creating offices where, let's say someone doesn't have the resources, you know, to check all of that. They can go to like an office and they can bring their documents and it would be easier to sign up.
What my colleague just said is our plan for the future. But as for right now, we do realize the opportunity cost of creating a digital app, and that we will essentially, there are people who cannot access digital or just like smartphones in general, and we did take that into account as the opportunity cost.
We are past the halfway mark in listening to pitches. Next in line is the SCLP Samaj School from Nairobi with their idea to revolutionize the automobile fuel industry with their cost-efficient and eco-friendly fuel.
Our team stands out the most compared to others because we have a deep passion for what we're doing. We've also shown our skills in several other platforms. And yeah, in the end, we've put a lot of work into this. It's become a part of our life. And yeah, we're very passionate about it.
I think the judges will like our project. It tackles a big problem right now. We hope they won't give us such tough questions, but we are ready for them. Anything comes, we are ready. We've prepared so much for this, and yeah, I think we're going to do well to the judge.
Fuel prices are a big concern for everyone in Kenya because they are rising at such a drastic rate. You know, it is expected to rise at 10 Kenyan shillings per month until February of next year. And also in Kenya, there's an over-reliance on fossil fuels for transportation, especially gasoline. And this will mean the prices of goods and services will increase with these rising prices. And also, do you know that it is estimated around 20%, and I repeat, 20% of the world's pollution comes from motor cars using these fossil fuels.
In comes E85, a revolutionary fuel that consists of 85% ethanol and 15% gasoline. Ethanol that is sourced from sugarcane grown by local Kenyan farmers and gasoline that is sourced from retailers. E85 is 50%, I'll give you time to take that in, 50% cheaper
than normal fuels. Traditional gasoline costs, I think, as of now, 217 Kenyan shillings per litre. Judges, how much do you think E85 costs? Wild guesses? If there are no guesses, E85 is approximated to retail at 120 Kenyan shillings per litre. Imagine that. E85 is also a clean fuel. It's carbon neutral, which means that the amount of carbon dioxide that is dispelled during its combustion and production processes is equivalent to the CO2 that will be absorbed by the sugarcane that is required to sustain the production of E85. E85 has also been used in motorsports since 2001 in Formula 1 racing and other form of competitive racing, which means that it's extremely high performance. If Kenya adopts E85, Kenya will be more self-sustaining and will have less of a reliance on foreign powers for fuel and energy.
Eladi, which produces and sells E85, is extremely scalable. Government policies which are promoting the use of biofuels, such as ours, using incentives that have been given out through Vision 2030, will help our business become extremely scalable. We plan to use the pre-existing infrastructure that Kenya has to transport E85. We also aim to first supply E85 to Nairobi city, as it is our capital city and also has a large number of cars, over 2 million. And based on that, we will also expand to the rest of Kenya.
Customers will choose E85 from us because, first of all, it is way cheaper, meaning they can save more money and they can spend it on other goods and services. And also, it relieves the stress that the current fuel prices have on us. And also, people who want to make a change in the environment, who want to reduce their carbon footprint, will use E85 from Eladi since it's cleaner with its carbon neutral. And that's why they will always choose E85 over petrol and diesel.
Why us? E85 is not just a business strategy. It is not just a business project. It is deeply personal.
This is because everyone in our team has experienced the effect of these rising fuel prices on us. Because every time we want to go somewhere, the first thing we are always asked is, do you know the price of fuel?
Together we can create a more sustainable and eco-friendly future for Kenya with our revolutionary child E85. In closing, E85 is the future of fuel of Kenya. It's innovative, sustainable, and profitable. Join us on this journey to transform the energy landscape. Together, we can make change, reduce emissions, and make a significant impact in the market. My name is Nivedya Raj.
My name is Sahim Jin.
I am Mika Miriti.
And I am Srinandu Siju.
And we are from SCLP Samaj School with our business, Eladi, and our motto, Fueling the Future.
Thank you.
I was glued from the beginning to the end, so very good. And I also like your ideation and your thinking. My question is about the cost. I think that's your unique selling proposition. You're saying that it's cheaper, 50% cheaper. I want you to think of 3 types of costs: the cost of modification of our vehicles to suit E85, the cost of infrastructure to transport the E85, and to streamline its use, and of course, finally, the cost of production of the sugarcane. Did you take all those costs into account when you concluded that it is actually cheaper to use E85?
Yes, when we were tallying costs and finding averages, we did include transport costs, costs of infrastructure, building, fermenters, distillation chambers, condensers, and just general production of ethanol that's used in E85. And also we did tally in taxations and subsidies also that we are hoping to get from the government.
So if we were to do E85, let's say today,
Yes.
Have you considered how much I would spend to modify my vehicle to be able to use that?
Okay, to modify vehicles, current modern cars, usually they are built like after 2020, since then, have the capability to run such ethanol concentrations in them. It's usually older cars that aren't able to, and we can use Brazil as a case study, where they were able to reduce the costs of modifying one car to as less as $50 per car. So, and this can only be done with help from the government, which we believe we will be getting because of Vision 2030 and other incentives. So yes, it will be extremely cheap, and that money that is spent on modifying the car will be worth it for the long-term benefits.
Good answer.
I can see your point totally with the consumer. The consumer is looking for cheaper prices to run their car, their vehicles. But from the supplier, i.e. the oil companies, why wouldn't they have done this earlier Are you saying that the margins, that maybe they were on higher margins and they'd be less than this, so it's consumer driven?
It's actually driven by both, because the retailers will actually get higher margins now, because as there are government incentives supporting this and there will be subsidies and tax cuts provided, these retailers will have a chance of having a greater margin. And it is also consumer driven, because consumers will demand more of it.
And also to add on that, there have been more taxes on the oil. That's why the oil companies are getting less profit. But now as we said it before, it's around 15 to 20 more than they would be from just selling petrol and diesel. That's why they'll choose us to supply.
Thank you.
Yeah.
There's still one more team waiting to make their pitch to fight for the Craydel Cup 2023. Don't go anywhere. We are that much closer to discovering who will walk away with the top prize. To find out more about Craydel, visit www.craydel.com or call 0799 000 444.